Hello, everyone. Welcome to Stockertim. Welcome to Stockertim, the investors channel. On this episode of Stockertim Special, we'll be looking at Nvidia's second quarter 2025 uh, result that has been released last week. What exactly is the importance of this result to Nvidia and the future of AI? Is Nvidia now at a point where the business is going to start stagnating? Is Nvidia consolidating, or the company is now on a tailwind for the next bull run? So, on this episode, I'll be looking at what exactly is the future for Nvidia after the release of the second quarter result. And of course, I'll be looking at the results from the context of where the company is, what the company has done in previous quarters, and what exactly is the state of play, especially when you look at what Nvidia, the role Nvidia is playing in the global AI economy, AI infrastructure side of things, and also what exactly is going on in China about Nvidia and how this is going to actually affect Nvidia's, survival and also growth in the next phase. So on this channel, we always make our disclaimer. Every information shared on this channel is for education and information purpose only. So do your due diligence or consult your financial advisor before making any decision. On that note, give this video a like, subscribe to our channel, put on your notification bell so that you don't miss any other updates we bring to you. So let's jump right in. So Nvidia, the acclaimed godfather of AI, actually released its second quarter result, and it was not just a success; it was also very, very instructive, and it gave us an indication of what exactly is next for Nvidia. So, for the second quarter, Nvidia reported about $46 billion revenue, and that was a growth of 56% from just about 30 billion or 30.04 billion a year ago, same quarter a year ago. And this actually marks the ninth straight quarter where Nvidia will be having year-on-year growth that is actually more than 50%. You heard me right. So in the last 9 quarters, Nvidia really has been on a tear. The company has been recording back to back growth. And that was as far back as mid 2023 when the generative AI boom actually started. So Nvidia's result has been nothing but short of growth year on year, and the company really is not necessarily slowing, despite the fact that a lot of concerns have been raised about whether AI is now being profitable. I'll be talking about that, whether a lot of companies who have invested in AI have started seeing the result, or a lot of investment might not necessarily yield any bottom line for companies. So there were some other part of the result as well that we also need to talk about. The CEO Jensen Wang, the gentleman you can see on the screen, actually hinted that Nvidia expect to start shipping to China the H20 chips in that quarter. In the second quarter, Nvidia didn't necessarily sell any of these H20 chips to China. Why am I talking about this? Because China represents roughly about 17% of Nvidia's business, and that part of that business is not just necessarily struggling. It's because of the geopolitical advantage and the geopolitical importance of Nvidia to the AI infrastructure, AI chips. The US is trying to restrict the high-end chips, just like the Blackwell chips, to China, and Nvidia really has been more or less handicapped, and they've not been able to directly sell these chips, the H20 chips that was even made to China. They've not been able to sell it directly to China, and Nvidia needed to actually get licenses to even do that in the first place. So Nvidia said he recorded about $4.5 billion write down when this news broke in the first part of of the second quarter, the stock actually pulled back when the market realized, these chips weren't shipped and it might never be shipped, and Nvidia actually needed to might actually take losses up to the tune of $4.5 billion. So the China question was clarified in the earnings report, in the earnings call as well. And it seems Nvidia could actually potentially ship about 2 to 5 billion in sales of the H20 chips to China once this restriction by the US government is actually more or less clarified. For that period, for the second quarter, Nvidia did about 59% year-on-year growth to the net income, which is about 26.42 billion dollars, and that was about $1.05 earnings per share, which is quite impressive. Very very few companies in the world even has something like this in the first place. So Nvidia really is still the company to beat. Nvidia is still going to retain its position as the most valuable company. We don't at Stockertim. In Stockertim now, we have now upgraded Nvidia to outperform within the Magnificent Seven, and I'm going to talk more on that. Why we are taking this direction is our opinion. You might agree, you might not agree. We actually, at the beginning of the year, we had a forecast that Apple will retain that position, but as it is now, Nvidia is still on that tailwind to not just retain the position that it has gained this year, but it's going to actually perhaps towards next year as well. Nvidia will still remain the company, the most valuable company in the world by market cap. So that's why we created this community, the Stockertim community. We have that, not just a philosophical approach to investing, to long-term investing. We have that intellectual, more rigorous, research-based, more detailed, and more fundamental approach to investing analysis. And that's why I'm, more or less inviting anyone, join us in this community. I'm going to drop the link to join to the description of this video. I'll also drop it, as you can see, at the top of this video as you're watching it. So if you are not also subscribed to our channel, please subscribe, put on your notification bell so that you don't miss any further updates. So the big question which I actually asked at the beginning of this video is, what exactly is the future for Nvidia now that the stock actually pulled back a few percentage points after the results and actually stabilized? Is this the beginning of the end for Nvidia? Is AI now on a more or less like a downward trend? So if you look at the MIT report that came out that said roughly about 95% of most AI investment at the enterprise level, a lot of companies that have invested in AI, that roughly about 95% of those investments haven't necessarily yielded any results or any benefits to the bottom line. And that's where we actually more or less we differ in our own approach, in what we actually believe, what we actually see playing out. So number one, the idea that we are in an AI bubble is not necessarily a scare tactics. It's not necessarily out of place. At Stockertim, 2 years ago, we predicted that Palantir would be the most important software AI company in the world. That has played out very, very almost exactly as we predicted. We are not necessarily clairvoyant, and we are not necessarily gloating to say, oh, everything we say is going to be 100% correct. We thought Apple was going to retain its position as the most valuable company. Now Nvidia is now the most valuable company, and we've also adjusted our outlook. Even though a whole lot of bear case against Nvidia is now building up, but we actually believe, with the fact that we are seeing, with the tailwind, with the sovereign AI that hasn't taken place. We still believe Nvidia has more chips to sell. As a matter of fact, our fear is that is Nvidia even able to actually meet up with the demand? Is Nvidia able to even scale up production of these high-end chips to actually meet the very, very aggressive request and requirement and demand for AI chips and even the software level that Nvidia provides? So we don't necessarily disagree that there's not a bubble out there, but we believe that out of this bubble, even if the bubble burst, just like the dot-com bubble of 2099 stroke 2000 and 2000 actually burst, and we had a lot of companies, putting AI in front of their name, putting .com in front of their name. A lot of those companies listed on the stock market, but many of them had a huge crash in their stock, and many of those companies went bankrupt. But out of the ashes of the dot-com bubble, we had the likes of Facebook, Google, even Microsoft became bigger. We had the likes of Oracle. We had a whole lot of other tech companies became stronger. They made much more money in the last 20 to 25 years. And so even if we now have an AI bubble, and now that we are in an AI age, and it seems like the bubble is about to burst, we don't necessarily believe that the entire bubble will burst and all of these companies will fail. Nvidia is already at a defining moment. We believe Palantir as well is already at a defining moment for these two companies to actually lead the direction. There are also other companies that are still going to be very, very strong, and they are still going to also win, like the likes of Nvidia. We know Microsoft knows how to actually evolve. Microsoft, as a matter of fact, is growing very, very fast, especially the Azure platform. Microsoft also has its own co-pilot that a lot of the enterprise customers of Microsoft is also deploying. So we don't necessarily believe that even if this bubble actually burst, AI is going to fizzle out. Now, here is where we actually stand fundamentally, and that's why we created this community. 2 years ago, I'll go back in memory lane. We also had a private session where we said, where we actually warned that when AI becomes a little bit more mainstream, a lot of companies will come out and they will actually claim to be doing AI. They will actually claim to be an AI company. You go to their website and they will actually, more or less, spam everything with AI. But that's actually playing out exactly the way we predicted it, exactly the way the dot-com bubble actually came out. So, with this in mind, let's just have it, on a more conclusive basis that the likes of Nvidia, the likes of Palantir are just getting started. So, for instance, Palantir actually only makes money when the software that has been deployed actually makes money for the company. So for instance, Palantir has forward deployed engineers, and if a company wants to actually deploy AIP, which is the artificial intelligence platform that Palantir actually sells to companies to actually be able to deploy AI, not just using it for chatting and all that, but AI managing workflows, AI actually predicting outcomes, AI actually allowing companies to deploy AI at the level of executing projects, bringing the entire knowledge base and the domain knowledge of the company to fall to a central point, and using AI just such as language model like ChatGPT, Claude AI, and all manners of LLM to actually make AI actually do the groundwork to make AI actually work. So for instance, Palantir deploys this software to clients, and when the clients actually make money or save money as a result of this, Palantir gets a cut of this. That's the approach that we actually see that is going to work. So if 95% of AI pilot projects that companies have actually spent money on are not working, the likes of Nvidia, the likes of Palantir are still going to do better. So, as a matter of fact, to close it, Nvidia said the outlook for the AI global infrastructure spending is going to be between $3 to $4 trillion by 2030, and this is actually a reminder that we are just getting started. So if you have watched this video to this point, that's what we think, and we're also going to share a bonus. So if you have watched this video to this point, where do we as Stockertim see Nvidia going by full year towards the beginning of next year? Price target, which we always do when we actually do a video like this. Our own price target is that Nvidia might actually average between $190 to about $200 as soon as the China business and the China problem or the China challenge gets sorted and Nvidia is able to start shipping the H20 chips into the Chinese economy. You are going to see a huge tailwind behind Nvidia stock. So you don't necessarily want to rush in by that time. You actually want to position yourself. So that's just a bonus. So if you want to get much more knowledge, much more analysis, much more detailed review of companies like Nvidia, like Palantir, we have very, very detailed stock picks list. Yes, it's not financial advice. Yes, it's not regulated advice. It's coaching. You still have to do your due diligence. So if you join the community, you will get much more knowledge on this. And also, we are planning to launch the Stockertim.com website, where you can actually get all of this in a single platform, delivered to you either on your tablet, on your laptop, or on your PC, or wherever you actually like to actually get investing knowledge, investing news and analysis. So the Stockertim website will be launching. I will actually project it so that we can see the wait list. So here is the Stockertim.com waitlist website that we have launched a few days ago. The website itself will be coming live very, very soon. And part of what we've been doing in the last 9 to 8 months on Stockertim YouTube channel is to bring you detailed video review, analysis, our opinion. The Stockertim Premium community actually, operates via email for the last 3 to 4 months. But now we are building this platform, which is going to mark a new era in financial investing, a new era in investing intelligence. On this website, as soon as we launch, you'll be getting access to market-beating stock picks and trade alerts, mastery of the market, timely updates, analysis. It's also like an education engine, and also more or less a place where you can get much more due diligence. So you have a lot of stocks flying everywhere, a lot of content creators, saying so many things that you don't necessarily agree with, or it's a bit more confusing. What we do and what we are going to be doing on Stockertim.com as soon as we launched is to actually bring more limelight, bring more much more torchlight to break things down and cut away the confusion, cut away the pump and dump and the hype, so that you can actually see the best. And why would you actually come on Stockertim.com as we launched? We are going to demystify complex financial news and concepts. You are going to spot a lot of undervalued opportunities before they become so much more popular. You will also be able to build your confidence in every investing decision that you make, and you can stay informed in this all-in-one global financial education platform. So, like I said, not a financial advisory platform, just majorly a place where you can get all the information you need. So as soon as we launch, we're going to do a detailed video on this, not to keep it too long. So please watch out for Stockertim.com, the new era in investing intelligence that we're bringing to you very, very soon. Thank you so much for watching this episode. And next time when we bring you much more knowledge-driven analysis, keep investing, keep growing. Take care and bye-bye.